Very good evening, folks. Happy Friday night. I hope everyone is over that horrific game last night at Celtic Park. We're here to talk about bigger things ahead as we have a League Cup final to contest against St. Mirren on Sunday. You know, we are the reigning champions of this trophy and want to keep it. We had to go under a dramatic style this time last year to win this trophy to beat Rangers in a penalty shootout. And things haven't been rosy since, as we all know. Last night I done a podcast. I want to give a massive thank you to the 25 to 35 people that tuned in, had their opinions and voiced their concerns about the way the club has been ran, about the style of football so far, the lack of hunger from the players, the downer buzz. It is a downer at the moment. It's completely feels like the confidence has been sucked out of these players. And there is individuals on that pitch that are really, really trying to make a statement. And then there's some players that are just go missing. Some players that they look delighted that they're getting subbed off, then look furious. Do you remember the time when Chris Commons got subbed? Do you remember the time when Chris Commons got subbed off in the Europa League and he went absolutely nuts at Ronnie Doyle? That's the type of players I like. The type of players that actually want to fight for the fucking shirts. Not these players where they've been whipped off at half time and they look like and they just don't look, it doesn't bother them. Oh, that's my shift done and that's it. I'm gonna get paid me money and that's it. There's incentives of being a professional footballer, assists, goals, appearances, the sports science behind it as well. Last night was an absolute kick in the teeth. A kick in the teeth. Last Sunday was a kick in the teeth. And yes, the board are the big blame for this absolute mess. The Messiah came back in, Martin O'Neill. He brought us 7 victories, some really good times. Hampden, Rotterdam. Yes, towards the end, we weren't playing the most expansive football, but he got a reaction out of players. He got Johnny Connie playing. He got players playing, players that wanted to play with the short. Now we have Wilfred Nancy, and that's like, no disrespect to Wilfred, but he said in his press conference today, last night, was a positive because we want to show that we should be pushing, using them as a role model of where we should be going. Hold on a minute. Roma are in Serie A. Roma spend money. Roma have better players than Celtic. I think this guy is fucking doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. I know that he wants to make a stamp and be successful. Anyone that goes into a job wants to make a stamp and be successful, but I think he's trying too hard. And you know what I'm realised with these press conferences? You're not getting a full 20 minutes with these press conferences. You're getting about 11 minutes. And yeah, we have no injuries from last night. But how are we gonna line out on Sunday? Is it gonna be 3 at the back? Is it gonna be 4 at the back? I'm gonna put up the team builder here on the screen. I want you to put in the comments who would you start? Would you start Donovan, even though he came on at half time last night? You go with Ralston. You go with Tierney. And you know what? If we had Sriracha fit, Sriracha would be ideal for this type. Him and Johnston would be ideal for this system. But right now, it's about getting silverware. Celtic could be on the verge of losing 3 games in a week. We don't see that a lot. We don't see that a lot with Celtic. And there could be Timplosion. It could be Meltdown Central. I might be having the Brittany on Sunday night. I'm hoping not. Because I'm telling you one thing, St. Mirren will be up for it more than they were up for it on Wednesday or Tuesday or when they got through against Motherwell in the semi-final. They will be up for it because they know that one thing you can utilise from Celtic's play last night is the kicking from Kasper Schmeichel. Straight down the middle, 30 yards ball, keeps getting won by the Roman midfield or the Roman attackers. It was too predictable. See this bollocks at the back when it's the 3 and they're trying too hard to try trying to go up the flank, and they get worried because no one's helping them. There's no support from Atate or McGregor trying to pick up the ball. That's something that they will use against us. And they have physical players. And I spoke to a good friend of mine today, and what he said to me was, Keith, they will score. I think they will press on us big time. I was like, I don't blame them. Go for it. At the end of the day, they want the cup more than we do. We only want the cup because it's to stop a meltdown, let's be honest, for a bit of silverware, just to make us kind of string on to having some rights this season. I'm be brutally honest with you, folks. And I know you won't like it, but I'm not really confident about winning this fucking league this season. Even maybe a couple of weeks ago when Hearts dropped a few points, I don't know. I'm just feeling weird about this seesaw, about this Nancy style of football. I know he's being put into 2 big games, but you don't change your fucking formation against the team that's you're fighting to win the league against. Maybe towards the end of the game, try it, implement it. If you're winning 1-0 or 2-0, maybe change it around at half time. But my God, let's go to the comments. It's good to see names in. Peter, I hope you're doing well. My good old friend, I hope you're doing well. I hope you like the picture. I see you were in Glasgow yesterday, were you? I hope you were. Should you give me a text? Evening Plunge McNugget, the man himself. Hope you're doing good. I hope Nancy has just come out. His football is tragic. Right. There's either 2 things that could be wrong here. It's either we don't have the personnel to play that style of football, or either it's broken communication. What do you think in the comments? Let me know. I'm going to get this flown tonight. I don't care if it's 20 people. I don't care if it's 30 people. I had a good chat last night, which is I'm fucking back on for it again. And I don't hide away. There's no unrestricted bollocks with me. I'm straight to the point. If I think there's something wrong, if I feel as a fan, I'm going to say my opinion. Some people agree, some people disagree. We're all tied to our opinions. So let's see what happened. Nancy's press conferences irritate me. Tommy, and I know it sounds horrible disrespecting our manager, isn't it? Like, he's only in the dorm or like irritated. I feel irritated watching him. I feel more irritated watching him than I did when we were going through that COVID lockdown season with Neil Lennon, where Neil Lennon was just getting fed up in the press conferences. That's how I feel. And I know this sounds crazy, but I think this season feels 10 times worse than the way we lost the league at COVID. Because the way, like, at least in COVID, some of the team were actually trying, even though we were scoring goals. But yes, it's just being completely zapped out of these players. Bring back Martin O'Neill. I said this earlier on to me, mate. I said I would not be surprised we'll have a 4th manager in by April. That's how it's going to go. And I want to be positive, folks. I really do want to be fucking positive. I do want to be coming out and saying, we're going to win this league. We're going to win the treble. We're going to fucking get players in. But come on. Look at the hierarchy. Do they give a rat's toss? Not to the level that you do. Not to the level. It's fuck all about Europe or the Scottish League or how big Celtic are. That's what we've been saying. It's too big of a gig for him, I think. And see, people are like, oh, well, we can't get world-class managers like Jose Mourinho or Klopp. Mate, we should have got fucking Knutson in the door. We should have got Ange back. We should have got fucking Kieran McKenna in the door. I would even took Davy Moyes, but David Moyes is happy at Everton. Get someone that fucking knows what Celtic is about. That's what you do. I did. I said something last night to me missus with pure anger. And I said to her last night, we were watching the game, and I said, oh my God, I never thought I'd say this, but Neil Lennon will probably do a better job right now than Will Nancy. And she's like, my fuck, Keith. I was like, honestly, that guy, I don't know if it's just the French stubbornness about him. I don't know what it is. I just don't see he's taking these defeats serious to the way of, I'm only in the job, I'm still learning. I see positives of the game, I see the mentality. You need to fucking win games. Simple as. You should have beaten Hearts at Celtic Park. Roma, yeah, people say it's a free hit. What about all the thousands of fans that spent fucking money to go to that game? What about the fans that travelled from different parts of the world or different parts of Ireland or different parts of Scotland to go and see Celtic last night in the piss and the rain with Evan Ferguson, tore Liam Scales, and new one? Is that a free hit? Is that a free hit while I'm moaning about this on this podcast? Is that a free hit? Yeah, I did. Let's be honest, we all knew we were going to get scalped. But, like, it's just a fashion. It's just a mentality. Like, we all knew Arnie Ingles was going to fucking miss that penalty last night. He's not worth 11 million, of course, in the comments. That's the Celtic board for you. They panic. They panic, boy. And then they buy someone that's well overrated the value. Taneki looked promising at the start. Just thing about Taneki is his play is going to be very predictable to read soon enough. Teams will cop onto it, you know. And he doesn't suit the style of football because he's not a wing back as well. Manager, the manager will get right up for it Sunday. He's done the look. I hope so. I really hope so, Joe. Joe, I want them to succeed. I want them to prove the doubt was wrong, like I proved, and like when I was doubting Ange. I really do. Deep down inside, I do. But I have a level of frustration, and it starts from the top down to the bottom. I have a frustration with the manager, a frustration with the board, a frustration at people not singing in the fucking crowd, trying to not getting behind the team, a frustration with the fucking team not pushing themselves, a frustration at the manager walking up that tunnel straight away at full time twice. That isn't good enough. I'm not asking them to stand there and clap on the halfway line for half an hour. I'm asking them to just, take in, look at the fans and look how fucking miserable they feel. Leaving halfway through the game, leaving 60 minutes through the game. Wow, like, what the fuck? Like, I thought Bernardo played well. Yeah, so did Nacho. And Nacho fought for it. Bernardo should be playing more football, like McCown, definitely. Made on the left and Nacho up front. It's going to be like that on Sunday. Hope so. McLaughlin. Hope you're doing well, by the way. Great to see you in. I'm very worried about it, to be honest. I'm keeping a lid on it the best I can. It will either be good or it will be bad. Simple as. Just have the scenario. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, you will feel. And this sounds weird to say, and this word is going to be ringing in your bell, in your head. Relief. We shouldn't be feeling relieved going in winning a cup against St. Mirren. Nothing against Stephen Robinson's side. He's done really well with St. Mirren. He's given us difficult games, especially on Trophy Day and playing them in Paisley and stuff. But if we just scrape the line against St. Mirren, it just shows that we have really, really went into decline. Oh, good, Pat. I was in Drogheda. I put a few posts up from the CSC. Hope you're well. Darren McGue's on Sunday. I need to get over and see us. I really do. Big time. Good. Shout out to the St. Lawrence's, Drogheda CSC. They're a phenomenal set of lads. Robbie, Peter, all the boys, Mick. They're a really good set of lads. And you know what? I done a show with them, George Gadetti live, and we had a really good night. And the laugh, the huddles, Caledonia, the Rebs, the Guinness, the hospitality. It was just, you know what? I felt like I knew these lads a long, long time, and really good. We are Celtic supporters. Yeah, we thought some prayers with Neil Lennon at this time. Obviously, his mother passed away only recently, and his dad passed away as well. So, something inside so strong. Neil Lennon, look at Lenny was a part of his own downfall as a manager at Celtic, but I'm not going to judge Neil Lennon's failure of a season on Neil Lennon legacy at Celtic, because I think a lot of people judge it on the failure that season. Neil Lennon was a manager and a player that won 10 titles at Celtic Football Club. People need to remember that. You don't do that a lot in modern day football. So we thoughts and prayers with Neil. I met Neil Lennon 3 times. I met him one of the first times I went to Celtic Park. I met him at a game as well before, and then I met him in Glasgow Airport going back to Dublin for Christmas a couple of years back, and we had a good chat. And I said to him, I said, "See you, you anchor." And he said, "What?" The chatting away. I goes, "See you." And he goes, "What?" And I said, "You got me into Celtic, Neil." He goes, "What are you talking about?" I goes, "It was the Champions League last 16 against AC Milan. You got off that bus earlier that day to do late paperwork and all for the game. And you walked out to me and my uncle, and my uncle said, this was my first time going to Celtic Park. And you said to me, oh boy, this could be my last European game at Celtic Park. It's going to be special tonight. You don't know what's going to hit you." And he started laughing. I look at, obviously, he buried his mother today. Oh, really sad times for Neil. And, you know, people forget he was the manager that we went on to beat Barcelona. People forget about that, but people rather talk about when he lost the league, like that kind of stuff. 14 to 15 defeats this calendar year now. It's not good enough. Now, is that in all competitions? Because let's be honest, I'm so glad we're not in the Champions League. Because do you know what happened? We would have got scalped. The board would have parked the money. They wouldn't have spent anyway, and it would have been an absolute this joke of a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if the game on Sunday went to extra time. I've been in my brain. I've been planning extra time. To be honest, I think it will go to extra time, and that's the God honest truth. That's how I think we've declined. Now I hope we go out and pump them 4-0 or 5-0. That'd be unreal. But let's hope we'll do the famous cliche. Have faith. Have faith. I reckon we played 33 to 34 games in 2025, and there's been at least 8 defeats in there. You want me to check? Transfer market. Let's have a look. We could try check Celtic. All right. Or you can get chat GBT, and that might be able to tell you as well. Let's have a look. And we're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at the team that I would, if I was the gaffer. Our total value of our squad is 127 million, folks. So now if I share this on the screen, it's probably going to slow the screen down. So I'll try. Squad, full squad, stats. Here's results. Let's see. You can get stats. Stats for 2025. Nah, can't get stats or results on this one. But anyways, I'm going to look into the ways they're saying. The first defeat on Ibrox the 2nd of January. Oh yeah, how can I not forget that 3-0 defeat? Oh God, that's when you know it was all going downhill from then. Except we had a little run in the Champions League. That was absolutely pish. It really was. Really was. Rubber Duck, how are you getting on? Hope you're doing well. Hell, hope he's like the top tonight, by the way, as well. Hope he's doing well. Right, let's see. I'm going to share the screen, and we're gonna have a look at this. Quacking away. I hope we are quacking away on Sunday. Timmy the Duck, eh? Remember Timmy the Duck was on sale in the Rangers stuff. So we'll go for obviously cash and goal. Hold on. I'm spelling it wrong. Spelling like the ghost. Right. So cash and goal, this is the formation I'd be going for, right? So right wing back, are we going Trusty or Donovan? More likely Trusty. Scalacci. Tierney, if he's fit. Okay. Left wing back, Maeda. Right wing back. Who are we going right wing back with? Is it going to be Yang? Is he going to go Yang? Rio Atate. Callum McGregor. Who do you push in there? You put Ingles in there? Or do you push Atate up? Or maybe having it like that with someone just literally on the pocket there. Maybe Negrin. Maybe having Negrin there and Ingles there. And putting Atate right there. And people were criticising Negrin last night. I know Negrin got whipped off, but Negrin's already scored. I think he scored, is it 5 goals and he has 7 assists or something like that? And then in that show, is it? Kelechi. In that show. So that's my team I go for, right? Gonna push that up a little bit. That's what we're looking at. That's what the style of football should be. Basically pushing Atate like that. Callum holding it there, like as in looking for the ball. Having it like that. Arnie Ingles needs more goals to his game. Pushing Negrin there. Negrin can obviously utilise and push up a little bit. And Maeda can push at that flank. And I was going to say, I'm having here, Jesus, that's how much I'm thinking about derby games. So it should be realistically like that. Kind of like a T. So let me know in the comments. Donovan, I'd like to send Sinsalo as well. Yeah, he did have a tough game, Kasper. So, Donovan, you're saying. Let's see. Colby Donovan. The Don Meister. He's in there. Look at him. There he is there. Have it like that. See, the problem is, when the keeper's pinging it out, he's meant to be getting it to Callum. Then midfield's going on to it, and it's causing stress on the team that we can't contain it. And look at last night, especially in the first half, they had a lot of ball in this set of the box. This is where obviously Evan Ferguson scored from here, and then obviously from there as well, and then the own goal from there. So we need to work on that section. We need to work on, and I think St. Mirren have the height. They will be looking to obviously get a chance of a corner. And I'll feel worried because with Celtic, it's all zonal marking. Should be man for man. Should be like that, you know? So I would love to see Sinsalo, but it's going to be Kasper. Definitely Kasper. This McCown. We could play McCown. McCown could offer something different. Nothing wrong with that, you know? Or maybe, do you know what you do? You could put McCown in there. Start McCown. And maybe Negrin instead of Yang. To be wrong, I think Yang has been trying. I think Yang has been trying. I know Negrin's left-footed, but he has been playing a lot on the right. Or you can whip Ingles out, put Negrin in there, because he is left-footed, and put Yang in there. You know, look, he'll probably start Ralston. And no disrespect to Tony Ralston, but I'd rather have Colby Donovan in there. I think Colby Donovan is learning. Yes, he was brutal at Tynecastle and stuff, but he had a phenomenal game at Belgrade, and you know this is his first proper senior season as well. I remember when Stephen Welch got into his first proper senior season. I think his first game was actually his first senior game was against Hamilton away. Remember that? So what's his think of the team? Bit too much? Do you think that's it? Do you think that's the team that could go on and beat St. Mirren? What about Ralston? Where's Yang? Donovan behind them. There, that's the team. That's the lineup. Well, Rans, that's it there. You know, that's what I'd go for. By the way, this app is called FotMob. Really good app. Yeah, you could try use Kit or Team Maker on the app, but when you use it on the actual like desktop version, it's much better. But that's what I think the team's going to be. Callum will definitely start. Scales will start. I think Atate will definitely start. more likely. I would like to see Bernardo start. Get in there, get in the midst of things. Even Bernardo, instead of Atate, change it up. And then you can bring Atate and Ingles off the bench. Something different. I just don't think there's enough. We don't have enough strength on the bench, to be honest with you. So see what happens there. So yeah, I'd say to pop on for another 10 more minutes. We done a good. Well, I hope so. I hope he's seen a bit of a bit from Bernardo, because Bernardo's not afraid to get stuck in. And he wins a good few free kicks as well, and he's more slick with his play as well. And he won't be afraid to take a chance from outside the box. It wouldn't be a bad show for Paulo Bernardo to start the game. I haven't even checked St. Mirren's route to the final. Obviously they beat Motherwell in the semis. I think they beat Hearts did they beat Hearts in the Premier Sports Cup as well? Have a look. Let's have a look. Scottish Cup. No, they beat Kilmarnock away in penalties 5-3. Then the Hearts in the second round. Were they played Ayr in the group stage? They played Annan. They played Forfar, is it? Can never pronounce that one. Arbroath as well. Yeah, so they've had a decent run into this competition, like beating Hearts and Paisley in penalties. They beat Kilmarnock in penalties as well down in Rugby Park, and then going on to hammer Motherwell at Hampden 4-1. So this is a big, this is going to be a big game for them. Big one. Stop that screen. So yeah, how are we all feeling? Are we nervous? Are you confident? Do you think you've nothing to worry about? Let me know in the comments. What jersey am I wearing on Sunday? Am I going for the 2020 black jersey with the Dafa bit on it? Or am I going for the 2023 Irish Origins jersey? The tricolour on the sleeves. I don't really like wearing actual hoops when I'm going out for the game. With the home top. That's it. The board do need to spend money, Callum. Definitely. It's like, how much will they spend though? That's the question. Will they back Nancy? I think it all depends on the results. They might back him if the results are bad and he makes a big statement to him, but I think he's a complete yes man. And people said in the past Brendan was backed. He got 75 million in the space of 3 years. We'll see. See what happens. Really do. But what I'm planning to do is, folks, I'm planning to do a podcast maybe tomorrow around 3 or 4 o'clock. Gonna break down obviously St. Mirren, how they play, their key players, talk about moving forward, try to think positive about moving forward instead of thinking negative. This channel is not about being negative and killing the buzz on a Friday night. It's just trying to be optimistic and thinking, right, where are we going? Are we going to win this League Cup? Are we going to play to a level that we haven't played really so far this season? What do you think of the Palestinian striker that Nancy worked with? I haven't looked into him a lot. I've heard about him. I have heard about him. And give me a second. Columbus. Oh, Columbus Crew. I actually like the Columbus Crew away jersey. I would wear it. I'm going to look at the squad. Palestinian player. Palestinian. They shouldn't be signing players because of the nationality. West Ham, Abu Ali. Let's have a look at him on transfer market. He's valued at 6 million. So let's check this out. Good to get the. Let's see. Have a look now. So hopefully this is popping up on the screen. Here we go. So He's 26 years of age. He has 2 years left in his contract. He could play for Denmark because he was born in Aalborg. He's declared for Palestine. So let's see. What clubs did he play for? He was only signed halfway through last season as well, I think. 8 games, 6 goals, 1 assist. That's not bad. That's not bad going. That was in the Club World Cup as well. Just waiting for this website is so slow. Ankle injury expected to be out until the end of this year. It doesn't matter anyway because the transfer window doesn't open to the 1st of January. So 11 games for Palestine, 4 goals. Looks like an all right player, to be honest. There, we're missing it. The experience, he's played for Aalborg, he's played for Ali as well in Egypt, is it? In the Egyptian team. Got signed for them for 6.4 million to Columbus Crew. And obviously he played the 8 games, scored 6 goals. It's very hard to judge that, to be honest. What I've heard from a couple of podcasts that I've been looking at, and one of the lads I had on the show, Mike, he said good things about him. But he might be looking for a move now away from Columbus Crew because the manager's not there. So it's an interesting one. Really interesting one. I'll keep an eye on him. I might do a video on him. Might just do a separate video on him and look into him more. Like obviously look up his bits and bobs, his best bits. The usual malarkey on YouTube. But I don't know if James is fit for Sunday. I don't know if he's like funny enough, I was watching a video of James Forrest that Celtic made 3 years ago when he hit the 100 goals. And some of the goals in his earlier career, my God, the technique outside of the boot, just outside of the foot, I mean, the technique, that goal against Hibs, Easter Road, oh my God, cracker. Jamesy, his two goals at Easter Road in the League Cup, his goal against Shakhtar Katagande. In his earlier days at Celtic, like he's breaking through into the senior team. Some goals, his debut goal against Motherwell. I would play James. I think Jamesy would graft in that position. He's not that defensive type of player, defensive minded player, but he knows how important it is to play for Celtic. And if he's fit, he's fit. But I don't know if he is fit. The veteran. Let me check. I might be able to get an indication if he's fit or not. Because Nancy's not really giving much away. Regards to his squad, he just keeps saying that we're working hard. I'm seeing positives. Blah blah blah. James, he's like the James Milner, isn't he? Scottish football. Let me see injury latest. Injury history. And the thing is, James Forrest could have so much more goals only before he got injured for a good chunk. Nothing's coming up. That he's out. These are all just looking at. He always had problems with his toe. Knee problems, toe problems, ankle sprains, mostly toe problems. So yeah, see how we get on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump off. It's good chatting to you. As I said, I'll just pop on to show that the channel's still here. We're still going small, slow but surely. We're still in there. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And yeah, if he's back in full training, why not? Have him in there as a chance of getting there. And Clash is saying, Sensalo, Trusty, Scales, Donovan, McGregor, Bernardo, Itate, Maeda, Balakwisha, and Nacho, Forrest. I didn't even think about Balakwisha. He's been completely out of my thoughts because he hasn't done enough yet. But won't be a bad show, He's definitely gonna start Maeda. And I think, as I said, someone said to me this morning in work, you have to give it to Maeda he didn't drop tails like Kyogo moaning back in the October and then wanting to move in January because he wanted to get into that Japanese squad. Maeda's been he hasn't said anything, like coming out with the media and saying he wants to move. Back then, summer, he was meant to move to Brentford. That deal didn't go through because we didn't have enough strikers in that department. No one's mentioning Johnny Kenny. We're all saying Nacho. What about Johnny Kenny for a chance on Sunday? Let's see. Well, anyways, I'm going to jump off. Good chatting to you all. I'm going to have a nice relaxing night, and I'll be back tomorrow evening to have a chat with you. Hell.